The sky was clear that morning, calm and quiet. Birds flew peacefully, and people were busy with their daily lives. No one expected what was about to happen. Suddenly, a strange shadow appeared in the sky. At first, people thought it was a cloud. But soon, the truth became terrifying. Thousands of massive alien ships hovered above the Earth, blocking the sun. Their metal bodies reflected sunlight, making them shine like moving stars. Panic spread instantly. News channels went live, and governments around the world struggled to communicate. Air sirens screamed in cities, while people ran to find shelter. The aliens did not land immediately. They floated silently, as if watching, waiting. Scientists and military leaders were called to understand these visitors. But no one could understand them. Their ships were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. On the outskirts of a small city, a young scientist named Daniel stared at the sky in disbelief. Daniel was not a soldier. He was just an engineer who loved studying machines. But now he realized that his knowledge might be humanity's only chance. He ran to his lab, quickly gathering his notes and tools. "We need to understand them," he whispered to himself, "or we are finished." Meanwhile, in the capital, world leaders convened an emergency meeting. Every major country was present. They tried to send messages of peace, but the aliens did not respond. Instead, their ships formed a massive circle around the Earth, creating fear in every human heart. Some leaders wanted to attack immediately, but others feared that any provocation could end the world. As the hours passed, small incidents started to happen. Airplanes that tried to approach the alien ships were instantly destroyed by invisible energy beams. Communications satellites went offline. Panic turned into hopelessness. People were hiding in their homes, praying or crying. It seemed like Earth had no chance, but Daniel refused to give up. He studied the alien ships carefully using satellite images and radar data. He noticed something strange. The ships were huge, but their movements were slow and calculated. They were not attacking yet. That meant they were testing humans, watching how we react. Daniel knew that if humans panicked completely, it could be the end. But if they stayed calm and clever, there might be a way to survive. At night, the world fell silent. Cities were dark because people were too afraid to move. The alien ships hovered like silent giants. Daniel met with a small team of scientists and engineers in a hidden underground lab. "We have one chance," Daniel said, his eyes filled with determination. "We must study their technology and find a weakness. They are strong, yes, but they are not perfect." The first step was risky. Daniel and his team decided to launch a small drone to get close to the alien ships. The drone was equipped with cameras and sensors to collect information. Everyone held their breath as it flew toward the massive ships. The alien sensors detected it immediately. A beam of light appeared from one of the ships, threatening to destroy it. But the drone moved quickly, dodging the beam. It returned safely with footage and data. When the team watched the recordings, they could hardly believe what they saw. The aliens were intelligent, but they were also arrogant. Their machines were powerful, but they had predictable patterns. Daniel smiled for the first time in hours. "This is it," he said. "If we understand their machines, we can find a way to fight back." The night was filled with planning. Maps were spread across tables, diagrams were drawn, and calculations were made. Daniel's team worked tirelessly, knowing that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. Outside, the alien ships remained motionless, as if mocking the small humans beneath them. But Daniel did not feel fear. He felt determination. Just before dawn, a loud explosion shook the city. One of the alien ships fired a warning beam into a building far away. The world realized that the aliens were not here to negotiate. They wanted control, and they wanted obedience. People ran screaming, but Daniel's team stayed focused. This was their test, and they had to pass it. Daniel looked at the sky and whispered, "Today, humans are not weak. Today, we start fighting, not with weapons, but with our minds." The world did not yet know it, but the unexpected war had begun. Humanity was about to face an enemy far stronger than anything they had imagined. And the question remained, could humans survive against beings from another world, or was this the end of life on Earth? The sun rose, casting light on the alien ships and the trembling cities below. The war was unexpected, yes. But Daniel knew one thing for sure. Humans had courage. And courage could sometimes be stronger than any weapon. Asterisk, the morning after the alien ships appeared. The world was still in shock. Cities were quiet, streets empty, and people were afraid to even step outside. But not everyone was paralyzed with fear. Daniel and his small team of scientists and engineers were preparing for something. Dangerous, something that could decide the fate of humanity. The plan was simple, but risky. A small human spaceship, modified secretly in an underground lab, would approach the alien fleet. The goal was not to fight, but to observe, to gather intelligence, and, if possible, to communicate. Daniel knew that the aliens were powerful, but he also believed they were not perfect. Every machine has a flaw. Every strategy has a weakness. As the spaceship launched, Daniel's hands trembled slightly, but his eyes were focused. Alongside him were two other engineers, Maria and Liam, both skilled in robotics and communications. Their ship was small and fast, barely visible against the enormous alien fleet. Every second felt like an hour as they approached the nearest ship. The alien vessel was massive, taller than any human skyscraper. Its surface shimmered with strange lights, and its edges were sharp, almost menacing. The humans tried to send a message of peace through signals, but the aliens responded in a way no one understood. A strange vibration filled the air, and a cold sense of intelligence radiated from the ship. It was as if the alien knew humans were trying to communicate and found them amusing. Suddenly, a powerful beam of light shot toward the human ship. It missed by inches, and the spaceship shuddered from the force. Maria shouted, "They are testing us." Daniel nodded, trying to stay calm. "They are seeing how we react. We have to stay smart, not scared." The ship continued to hover near the alien fleet, scanning with its sensors. What they discovered shocked them. The aliens had weapons far more advanced than anything on Earth, but they also had patterns. Their attacks were strong, but predictable. That meant, Daniel realized, humans could survive if they acted quickly and cleverly. As they watched, a small alien craft detached from the larger ship. It was faster, moving in a way that seemed alive, almost like it had a mind of its own. The human ship dodged and turned, trying to keep up. Daniel's heart pounded. This was the first real encounter close enough to see the aliens themselves. They were taller than humans, with strange, smooth skin that reflected light. Their eyes were large and black, observing every move. The alien craft communicated somehow through lights, vibrations, and sounds that humans couldn't understand. It was clear, these beings were not animals or mindless machines. They were intelligent, maybe far smarter than humans. And yet, Daniel noticed something unusual. One part of the ship's surface seemed slower to react, almost like it had a blind spot. He smiled slightly. "Every enemy has a weakness," he whispered. Suddenly, the alien craft fired a warning again, more powerful this time. The human ship was hit, but not destroyed. Sparks flew, alarms rang, and Maria struggled to keep control. Liam shouted, "We need to get back." But Daniel shook his head. "No. We have to see this through. If we turn back now, we learn nothing." As the human ship hovered dangerously close, the alien ship did something unexpected. It did not fire to destroy. Instead, it paused, scanning, observing, almost as if it wanted to test the humans. Daniel realized then that this was not just a battle of weapons. It was a battle of intelligence. The aliens were not attacking because they wanted to understand if humans were clever enough to survive. The encounter lasted only a few minutes, but it felt like a lifetime. The human ship collected vital data about the alien technology, weapons, and even the structure of their ships. Every detail was carefully recorded. When they finally returned to Earth, Daniel and his team were exhausted but triumphant. They had learned something crucial. Aliens were strong, but they were not invincible. Their arrogance could be used against them. Back on Earth, Daniel addressed a small group of military leaders secretly. "This is our chance," he said. "They think we are weak. They think we are afraid, but we are not. If we study them carefully, we can fight not with sheer power, but with our intelligence. That is our weapon." The leaders looked skeptical, but Daniel's determination was contagious. For the first time, there was a glimmer of hope. Humans were facing an enemy from beyond the stars, one that seemed unbeatable. But now, for the first time, they had proof that the aliens could be outsmarted. That night, the world slept uneasily under the watchful alien fleet. No one knew what the next day would bring, but in hidden labs, in secret rooms, humans were preparing. They were ready to fight, not just with weapons, but with brains, courage, and unity. Daniel looked at the stars above and whispered, "This is only the beginning. The first encounter is over, but the war, the real war, is about to start." And somewhere above Earth, the aliens observed silently, intrigued by these strange, resilient humans. They had met their first challenge, and the game was only beginning.